ज्ञानातिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we are, you're coming for the first time? Okay, you can sit down. What's your name? Tejaswini. Okay. What are you doing? Okay. How did you know about this program? Friends. Okay, good. So it's never too late. You're almost coming in the end. It's chapter 17, so we just have one more week. However, we are starting a summer batch that is in fact a continuation of these sessions. This is level 1 course of 18 weeks. That is level 2 Bhagavadgita. It's just for 5 weeks. In 5 sessions, we'll discuss and understand the topics of Bhagavadgita. It starts on 19th April. So you can try to attend that. Okay, and you can also invite all your friends. Okay, so we are very happy to have you here. Okay, so today we'll be discussing the summary of chapter 17. Chapter 17 is called the Divisions of Faith. Divisions of Faith, and it has totally 28 shlokas. Okay, so this chapter begins with Arjuna asking a question to Krishna. If we recap, in the end of the 16th chapter, in fact 16th chapter, we discussed about divine and demonic qualities. We discussed what is divine qualities, what is demonic qualities, the differences between them, right? And one who leads his life as per the scriptures. Divine qualities are the one who leads their life as per the teachings of the scriptures, and demonic people are the ones who go against the scriptures. And in conclusion, Krishna says to Arjuna that one should lead his life as per the codes of the scriptures. One should follow the scriptures. Only then he can develop these divine qualities. Only then he can be happy in life. Only then he can be elevated. Right? So this is what Krishna concluded in last chapter, that one has to study or refer to the scriptures. Now in this chapter, Arjuna is putting forward a question. Okay, Krishna, you said that you told about divine qualities and demonic qualities. You said that one has to refer to the scriptures in order to attain peace, attain happiness. But I have a question. Who? Arjuna is asking. And the question is, what happens to people who doesn't fall in both of these category? He is neither divine in nature nor demonic in nature, but still he does some worship but it's according to his own imagination. We can see, right, some people are there. No, this is what I feel right. This is what my heart says, or this is what my mind says. I will do it accordingly. So he is not very interested in following what is given in the scriptures, or what is said in the shastras, what is said by sadhus. This person is not interested in these things. Whatever I feel right, whatever my conscious feels right, only that I will follow. Now Arjuna is putting forward a question. What is the situation of these people with this mentality? Neither he is divine in nature nor he is demonic, but he is doing some part of some kind of worship as part of his imagination. Okay, so this is what is explained in verse 1. This verse 1 is the first section. It is Arjuna's question, and I'll read out the translation. Arjuna inquired, O Krishna, what is the situation of those who do not follow the principles of scripture but worship according to their own imagination? Are they in goodness, in passion, or in ignorance? Okay, so this is the question. So which category do they fall under? Do they come under the, here Arjuna is asking, in which category of modes do they come? Do they fall? We discussed about the three modes, right? Goodness, passion and ignorance in chapter 14. So he is asking, does these people who don't follow the scripture, do they fall under the mode of goodness or mode of passion or mode of ignorance? This is what Arjuna asks, right? And Lord says, so Krishna is answering here. He says, each and every action and each and every thought of people, one or the other way should fall under these categories. It is no any action or any thought a person does, right? It has to one or the other way fall under these categories, right? A person could be is faith and worship or whatever activities he do, it can either fall under goodness or passion or ignorance. Depending on the three modes which they fall under, their activities are also categorized into these three, is what Krishna is answering. And that is what is our next section. Our second section is from Shloka 2 to 7. Shloka 2 to 7 discusses the divisions of faith according to the three modes. Now in this section, Krishna is explaining the faith of the people as per the three modes of nature. And according to their faith, respective faith, what are the kinds of worship they do? For example, a person in the mode of goodness, what is the kind of worship he does, or what is the kind of faith he will have? Similarly, a person in the mode of passion and ignorance, what is the faith he has, or what is the worship he is involved in? This is what, that is why this chapter itself is called divisions of faith. We will see different types of people with different types of faith according to the three modes of nature. So in Shloka 2, I will read out the translation. It is said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, according to the modes of nature acquired by the embodied soul, one's faith can be of three kinds, in goodness, in passion or in ignorance. Now hear about this. Okay, now let us try to discuss what is the kind of faith or what is the kind of worship that a person does who is in the mode of goodness. Shloka 4. Yajante satvika devan yaksha rakshamsi rajasaha pretan bhuta ganamshchanye yajante tamasa janaha. So this shloka discusses the various kinds of worship that is done by the people who is in goodness, ignorance and passion. Translation. Men in the mode of goodness worship the demigods. Those in the mode of passion worship the demons, and those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. Okay, so here Krishna very clearly distinguishes what do people with different faith worship. He says people in mode of goodness, in other words, people in Sattva Guna worship the demigods. So people who are in the mode of goodness, they generally would go to temples. They are very devoted in nature. They worship the demigods or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Basically they don't expect anything out of their worship. It is out of true love and devotion they worship the Lord. Right? But people in Rajoguna or the people of passion, it is said that they worship the demons. Those in the mode of passion worship the demons. Now demons means Rakshasas or powerful people. Now it does not mean that people in the mode of passion, they just go and find out some temple, Rakshasa's temple or demon's temple and worship. No, the understanding is these people are mostly the followers of powerful people. No, they could be politicians, or they could be people who are very, very has a lot of power in the society, who is behind money, or so the followers, what they do is they know that, okay, if I go behind this person, even I will also get that kind of a power, right? So the word demons mean people with demonic mentality. So they are always behind this. We can see sometimes these politicians are there. Behind these politicians you can see a lot of people. They are not in any position or anything. They will not have any work to do. They are not respected either in families or outside in the society also. They will just simply hang around behind these politicians, just for some fame or something, just so that in their name they want to control people, or they want to frighten people, or they also want to show that I am also a big man in a society, something like this. Now this is about people in Rajoguna or people in passion. They worship the demons. And next, those in the mode of ignorance worship ghosts and spirits. That is people in Tamoguna. When you say ghosts and spirits, there are some people who are interested in this black magic kind of thing. No, they want to do some mantravada. They always want to find out a crooked way. No, when there is some problems in their life, or even when they want to do something good, right? They are not interested in worshipping the Lord. They are more interested in finding out if there is any shortcut, or if there is any black magic which they can do. So if they just try to figure out the solutions for their problems through this way. This is what they do. So they don't have very big faith. They are not very faithful. Somebody is saying, so I am just following, that's all. It is that kind of a mentality. Sometimes they worship ghosts and spirits also. It is there, no? Sometimes there are people who worship ghosts and spirits. Even today when you go in Kerala, there are a lot of people who still believe in black magics, and they also worship these things, right? So that is how they do. Okay, so this is about the different divisions of faith and different kinds of worship according to the people who are in different modes. We will go to section 3. Next section is from Shloka 8 to 22. Now this section discusses various aspects, like what is the kind of food, what are the sacrifices, what is the austerity, what are the charities that people do as per the three modes of nature, what are the different varieties of food that one eats as per the three modes, what are the different austerities or penances, what are the sacrifices one performs, what is the kind of charity that different people do as per these different modes is what is discussed in this section from Shloka 8 to 22. So first we will discuss about foodstuffs. Shloka 8 to 10, it explains the various foodstuffs that are preferred by the people according to their different modes of nature. So the moment we say food is one important aspect in our life. It influences our body a lot. No? That is why people say you are who you are depends on what you eat, right? And not only body, food also has the power to influence your mind. See, that is very important. That is why sometimes when we go to a doctor when we are sick, the first question doctor asks is, what did you eat? What did you eat? What was your previous meal? Or what did you eat yesterday? Did you eat any junk? Did you eat anything outside? This is what a doctor asks, right? And even when he gives a diet, even when he gives a medicine, he includes a diet. First thing he says is, this is what is your diet plan for the next few days. This is what you are supposed to follow, right? This is what a doctor says. So that is why the food what we eat is very, very important. It really has a bigger, very, very, very big influence on our body, not only our body but also our mind. Okay, so what kind of food should we eat? What is that is recommended in the Shastras? is what this section explains. So from shloka 8 to 10, it explains the kind of food that is preferred by different people as per the different modes. Shloka 8, we'll read out. Ayuhu sattva balarogya sukhapriti vivardanaha rasyaha snigdastira hridya aharaha satvika priyaha. Translation: foods dear to those in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life, purifies one's existence and gives strength, health, happiness and satisfaction. Such foods are juicy, fatty, wholesome and pleasing to the heart. Yeah. So, see, nobody is coming and forcefully asking to eat something. But in fact, these foodstuffs are not forced by someone. Some people by nature, they like to have some kind of food, and that is what is being explained here. Here it is said that people who are in sattva guna or people who are in the mode of goodness, they generally like to eat food which is healthy and have sometimes we can see nice sattvic, very nice food which is not too oily or too spicy, especially food which is which is made out of wholesome grains, fruits, vegetables, milk products. All these foodstuffs are we all know it is very, very healthy for our body also. The moment we take it, we feel pleasant. We don't feel that it is spoiling our health, right? And what does it say? It says that by taking these foodstuffs, one will become healthy and one's life duration is increased. It is very directly proportional. The food what we eat is directly proportional to our lifespan, right? And that is why nowadays in modern age the lifespan has come down a lot. It has a lot to do with our food habits. Like there are a lot of diseases. All these diseases what we hear today were not to be heard during our grandmother's time, right? It was just home food those days. Today's hospitals have increased. Hotels, restaurants have increased. Along with restaurants, the hospitals are also increasing. It is because all these people are serving food which is not very healthy to the human body, and that is why we get into all these eating habits which will finally affect this one, right? So it is said that we should always eat foodstuffs which are pleasant to our body, which is healthy, right? And not only that we eat the food that is in a mode of goodness, above that, for example, somebody who is eating foodstuffs in the mode of passion and who is eating foodstuffs in the mode of ignorance, their aim is to come to eat the foodstuffs that are in the mode of goodness. But it doesn't stop there. Shastra says that not only that we are supposed to eat the food that is in the mode of goodness, but we also should come one step above, one level above, and eat the food that is sattvic in nature. So what is sattvic? When does food become sattvic in nature? It is not that only when we eat vegetarian food, it is not that we are supposed to be great. That is why ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada says, even monkey is a vegetarian. But it does not mean that monkey is doing something great, right? So it does not mean, it doesn't mean that only if we are a vegetarian, we are doing something great. No. We will have to also make sure we eat sattvic food. When does a food become sattvic? When it is offered to the Lord, right? When it is offered to the Lord and we take the remnants of the foodstuffs of the Lord as prasadam, then it becomes sattvic. Why we have to offer to the Lord? We already discussed this, right, in our previous chapters. Okay? So why we have to take food and offer it to the Lord? Again, further in this session we will discuss it. But as of now, let us understand that it is always good to take sattvic food, or at least the food in the mode of goodness. Next, what are the foodstuffs in the mode of passion, Rajoguna? Shloka 9. Katvam lavanatyushna tikshana ruksha vidahinaha ahara rajas asyeshta dukkha shokamaya pradaha. Foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, hot, pungent, dry and burning are dear to those in the mode of passion. Such food causes distress, misery and disease. Yeah, so people in the mode of passion, we can see some people, they crave a lot. Whatever food you give, right, they say, this is not too spicy, I need more spice, give me some more, no chili, or give me some more salt. No, there is no oil at all. Why is it like this? When somebody, when the mother prepares nice sattvic dal which is healthy to body, this guy says, what is this? And they think that, the funny thing is, they think that only when you eat spicy and oily food you will get some, what is that? What do you say? Paurusham, or you will have some, no, you will have some, what is that, courage or something. A person should eat nice salty, sour and spicy food, only then you will have, otherwise you are unfit to be a man. No, you should have some courage in nature. So very negatively they tell this. Right? Some people will not touch at all. There is, I am okay to fast, but I will never touch the food. But what Shastra is saying, it is said that when you eat these kind of food, you will end up in getting health issues and diseases. That is why, see, again, the doctor, the moment you go to the doctor, he will say that, no, first you stop, whatever is your problem, he will say, first stop spicy food, oily food, deep fried food, sugar food, the food that is made out of sugar, sweets, too salt, sour, bitter. You go with one small issue, but then there is an axe put on all these things. So it does not mean only the patients are not supposed to eat these things. Even a healthy human being is not supposed to eat. When I say not supposed to eat, it's not that you should avoid completely. You should take it in right proportions. Whatever salt or whatever sugar is required or whatever spice and oil is required, you just add it for taste and then eat it. Right? The more taste if we are behind too much of tasty, then the disease also will come behind us. So this is about, and what happens is that I was talking about courage, right? Actually, when you eat this kind of food too much, which is in too much of passion, you also become very passionate in your life. You will be running around for everything. You will get a lot of anger. See, one of the reasons for getting angry is when you eat a lot of spicy food. And people say that as courage, but it could be misused as well. Anger is not very good for us, right? Yeah. So this is about the food in the mode of passion. Next we will see food in the mode of ignorance or tamoguna. Verse 10. Yatayamam gatarasam puti pauryushitam chayat uchishtam apichamedyam bhojanam tamasapriyam. Food prepared more than 3 hours before being eaten, food that is tasteless, decomposed and putrid, and food consisting of remnants and untouchable things is dear to those in the mode of darkness. Food prepared more than 3 hours. So Ayurveda actually says that we should not eat food that is prepared after 3 hours. That is, when we prepare food, we will have to take it fresh or maximum within 3 hours. No, at least a maximum limit of 5 to 6 hours, not more than that. But nowadays what we do, all of us are working, we are very busy. Morning we will prepare and then we will heat it and then we will eat in the afternoon. Same food, again we will heat it and we will eat it in the night. And the remaining food, what we will do, we will keep in the refrigerator. Then again next day morning, heat it and eat. And sometimes Mataji's at home, these poor husbands, they might not know whether it is prepared today or yesterday. Take freshly, you eat. This guy, he will be thinking, I am going to gym daily, but still my stomach is so much. What has happened? What is the problem? It is because he is eating old food. Nobody is telling him. And she will give with love. You take it, this is specially made for you. But because only if she tells like that, this person will eat. Right? So it's at least, yes, we may not be able to practically follow this 3 hours, but at least we should come to a level where we cook food on that day and finish it off that day. It doesn't go to the refrigerator, keep it altered and then eat it next day. It becomes poisonous. It could be one of the very, very healthiest food. It could be spinach and vegetables, whatnot. But still, once it is old, then it loses all its energy. So then what you are eating is just a junk, a lump, that's all, nothing else. And what is next, what it says? Food that is tasteless, nowadays decomposed and putrid. Nowadays you can see all this fast food, right? You go to the fast food corner, there is all kind of food, and these are the food which will stay for much more longer time, because completely it is filled with preservatives. We always want this short foodstuffs like burger, sandwiches, pizzas. These are all nothing but it is Yamaraj directly coming in the form of this foodstuffs, right? It is a slow poison, slow death. It says, and we can see some countries, they eat the kind of foodstuffs they eat, and the foodstuffs which the things which we don't even feel like seeing or touching, right? These are the kind of foodstuffs which countries like China and other people they eat, right? They eat a lot of things, which means you can see where people are going, and just for their taste, just to fill their stomach, they are just ready to eat anything. So that is very bad, and especially in India, we should at least be lucky that we are fortunate to first of all get to be born in India, and to be, because we have a lot more natural resources. We don't have to really depend on these kind of foodstuffs. But today we all of us want to follow the Western culture. See, Western people are intelligent. They eat these kind of foodstuffs, but at the same time they do nice exercise also. They go to the gym. They hit the gym 1 or 2 hours every day. But we Indians, we want to follow only their foodstuff style. We don't want to follow their gym culture. Right? That is why they are said to be much more fitter. Right? And nowadays in India, the obesity is also increasing. Those days when you will never see people who are fat. All that, whether they go to gym or not, people are always slim. It is very, very rare that you see a person who is fat. Today it is very, very difficult to see a person who is thin. Right? It is mostly because of our food style. Yeah. So next, food consisting of remnants and untouchable things. Yeah, this is very important. Remnants. Now this has become a very fashion nowadays. Lot of us in the school, children all sit together. Offices, all these people sit together, open their lunch boxes. Sharing is not wrong. You should definitely share your food. But what happens is, they all put their hands and eat it from the same plate. They think that is sharing is caring, or they think that something is modern about that. But it is said that eating the remnants of foodstuff is such a low thing. But it does not mean you should not eat remnants at all. A wife can eat the remnants of her husband. Spouses can eat. Within the family members, the children, mother can eat the remnants of the children, or the children can eat the remnants of their mother. But apart from that, Shastra says, when sadhus or sannyasis comes, when guru comes, his remnants we can take as prasadam, because by doing so we will also get their devotional, whatever good deeds they have done, that will flow to us. Right? Shastra says that if we eat remnant apart from these people, apart from our spouses, children and Swamijis and Guru, if we eat remnants of any other people, it is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Say for example, if I eat someone's remnants, it means I am transferring all my bad karma to that person. If somebody eats my foodstuff remnants, all my good karma is going to him and all his bad karma is coming to me. So whatever bad, wrong things that person has done, then you have to take, you have to suffer for that. And whatever good you have done, you are losing to that person. So one should not say, no, Bhagavadgita it says that we should not eat the remnants. Yeah. So these are the foodstuffs. But ultimately, the best foodstuff for us is Krishna Prasadam, Sattvic food. We will have to offer it to the Lord. Because sometimes we might think, oh, food in goodness is good. All wholesome grains, fruits, vegetables, milk. But sometimes these foodstuffs also have some problem. I mean, they carry some contaminations, which is subtle, not physical, which we might not be able to understand. For example, nowadays you can see the milk. Doctors say you don't drink milk at all. It is better to avoid milk because it has a lot of chemicals. Children fall sick. It no more gives you calcium. It is all so much of preservatives have been added. It is no more pure in nature. So we are not. Milk is very, very, very good for health, but we are not guaranteed. Today's vegetables, fruits, it comes with a lot of chemicals. Right? Sometimes what happens, the farmers who are growing this, we don't know with what mindset they are growing this. And once the farmer grows it, somebody else purchases that. Now this person could be fighting with the farmer for a deal. He could be fighting for a deal and he would be purchasing that. So he is not going and happily taking these goods. Their deal might not be always happy. Sometimes they might be cheating, which is done. The farmers most of the times they get cheated. No, they are not giving proper money. So his tears, blood and sweat, everything is involved. So all these foodstuffs, even though they are good, it might carry a lot of things. Sometimes it is said that the people who cook, that also depends. It is said that we have to cook with lot of happiness, with heartful. That is why always a mother's cooking at home is very, very tasteful. Because she serves with love. She cooks with love, although the item may be simple. And one thing you would have noticed, sometimes we cook the one item, it would have come very nicely. The same item when you cook you try for the next time, it would not give the same taste. Same ingredients, same cook. Why is the taste differing? Because when the taste came up very well, that person would have cooked with lot of love, affection and concentration. On the other day, maybe that person would have cooked with, maybe she would have fought with someone at home, or maybe she is unhappy. And when the person cooks in this way, the food is automatically affected. And even though you prepare a healthy food, it will not nourish our bodies. So that is the reason why I am mentioning all these things is, that is the reason even though the food is in the mode of goodness, still it will not serve the purpose. That is why you should take Sattvic food. Sattvic food means you offer the food to the Lord. The moment you offer the foodstuff to the Lord, that is when you do Naivedyam and take that food back as Prasadam, whatever contaminations are there, both mental level or body level or whatever contaminations are there on the subtle level, the Lord takes it and He purifies the food. And the moment the food is purified, it becomes karma free. That is why Prasadam is called as karma free food. All the other foodstuffs we take, even though it is wholesome and healthy, it carries some kind of karma. Because we already discussed in previous classes that even plants and vegetables have life. So in that sense, whatever food we take, even that has a little bit of karma. So that is why we will have to purify it. That is why it is said it is always better to take Krishna Prasadam. For that we will have to know what Krishna likes. Right? So that is why Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Palam Toyam. With love you just offer me some water, some milk, some fruits, some vegetables and some leaves, some flowers. That is more than enough. But it does not mean that yes, to start off we can start with this. We offer some daily milk, fruit products, some water to the Lord, some tulsi leaves, but it does not mean that lifelong we keep on doing same thing, right? So ultimately the point is, after a certain point of time we have to align ourselves with what Lord likes, right? We'll have to take the foodstuffs what the Lord wants. Take some nice vegetarian food, offer it to the Lord, and then you take it, eat it in the form of prasadam. So all these things are not only spiritually benefits, but also it helps us, like mentioned here, it is also good for our body and mind. Okay. So next, this is about the foodstuff. Next is about sacrifices. Shloka 11 to 13, it explains, it mentions the various sacrifices that are performed by different people as per the different modes of nature. Okay. Shloka 11. Of sacrifices, the sacrifice performed according to the directions of scripture as a matter of duty by those who desire no reward is of the nature of goodness. So here it is said that sacrifices, people in the mode of goodness, they always do sacrifices without expecting any result, as a matter of duty. They just do their duty. Okay, this is my duty, I'll have to do it. They don't expect anything, they don't desire any reward, they don't mind whether people will identify me or not. They are not worried about that selfishness. And it is said that of the sacrifice means yajna. The best yajna or sacrifice in the age of Kali Yuga is Sankirtana yajna. That is why it is said in Bhagavatam, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnan Sango Pangastra Parshadam Yajner Sankirtaner Prayar Yajantihi Sumedashaha. Which means, translation, in the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons and confidential companions. So here it clearly says that in Kali Yuga, the best sacrifice or the only sacrifice that one can do is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We already discussed this. As per time, place, circumstances, there are different Yuga Dharmas. In Satyuga, the Yuga Dharma was meditation. To achieve bhakti or to achieve devotion, one has to do meditation. When Treta Yuga came, it was sacrifice, yajna, like Ashwamedha yajna, different kind of homa yajnas was done. In Dwapar Yuga, it was temple worship, where you go to the temple and worship the deity, Vigraha Aradhana. And in Kali Yuga, it is said that people are short-lived, people are lazy, people are misguided, people are quarrelsome, people are disturbed, people are short-lived. I am not saying this, the Shastras are saying this. So, when all these problems are there, automatically the solution also should be very simple. You cannot sit and meditate for a long time. You cannot spend a lot of money on homas and yajnas, because first of all, it's very difficult to find qualified brahmanas. Everybody do not have time to go to temple and worship. So the only easiest process is Mahamantra, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Right? That is what is said. So that is what is the sacrifice in the mode of goodness. Now we will discuss sacrifice in the mode of passion. Shloka 12, translation. But the sacrifice performed for some material benefit or for the sake of pride, O chief of Bharatas, you should know to be the mode of passion. So people who are in the mode of passion, they will be involved in some kind of religious activities, but it is not out of faith or some interest. They just want to do it for name and fame, just as to show off. Now we can see some people, they conduct these pujas, big spiritual festivals. They conduct these, Pallaki, Utsavas and all, big chariots going. Now all these, sometimes the big peoples, they get involved in this. They sponsor and they just want to take some name. Oh, I conducted this. Some people, they conduct this Satyanarayana Puja and all these people. Satyanarayana Puja is very good. But these people conduct that with the aim of show off. Oh, my neighbors are there. I just want to show off that I conducted in a much larger scale. Or some people, that person did Satyanarayana Puja. Next month, I have to do it in a much bigger scale. He invited 100 people. I have to invite 200 people. No, he called some local pujari. I have to call pujari from Tirupati. So this is how people, they are not very much interested in devotion. They just want to make a show off. Right? So they just want to please some people out of pride. They expect something. So it should not be done in that way. This is what is a sacrifice performed in the mode of passion. Next we will discuss sacrifices that are made in the mode of ignorance, tamoguna. Translation, Shloka 13. Any sacrifice performed without regard for the directions of scripture without distribution of prasadam, spiritual food, without chanting of Vedic hymns and remunerations to the priest, and without faith is considered to be in the mode of ignorance. Yeah, so what he says, any sacrifice that is done without the directions of the scripture, that is, Shastras are not saying anything, but without the Shastra's knowledge, something, someone told something, it is not, whether it is recommended or not, doing something as we wish, and without distribution of prasadam. This is very, very important. Any spiritual function you do, at the end, prasadam should be distributed. Right? Shastra says that. That is why when you go to a temple, also, all the time there is some prasada which is being given. Because prasadam means Lord's mercy, the English translation. And whenever you go to someone's house, when some guest comes, you want to give that person something. You don't want to send him empty-handed. So similarly, when you attain some religious activities, it is a function of the Lord. Lord is the Mukhya Yajaman there. So when guests are coming to his program, the Lord always wants his devotees to give something. So that is why all these prasadam, everything is getting distributed. And people who are in Sattva Tamoguna, it is said that they will conduct all these functions, spiritual functions, but they will not give anything in the end. They will not give prasadam. And without chanting Vedic hymns, sometimes we see that some pujas happen. People does not even know properly what to chant. No, they are unqualified priest or unqualified brahmanas comes. And sometimes not only that, when it is said that we should also make sure that we take care of that priest very nicely. We have to give some dakshina, remuneration for them. Brahmana dakshina, or we have to give them whenever they come and they practice in the program, we will have to give them some dakshina. Right? All these things should be done. If we do it without all these things, then it is said to be in the mode of ignorance. And the above everything, most important thing is faith. Whatever you do, you have to do with faith. Some people, they just do it. Oh, somebody told, just because my grandfather is following, my parents are following it, if I don't do it, they might feel bad. For that sake, I am following it. Some people are of this mindset. I am not very much, they think it is very, very nice and very fashionable to say this. I am not very faithful in all these things. I am not very spiritualized person. Just because to satisfy my parents, or just because for the society's sake, I am just doing it, that's all. So I don't believe in all these things. That is what people say, right? So anything done in that way is because if the faith is missing, then the whole gist of it is missing. So this is about sacrifice. Next is about austerity. From verse 14 to 19, this section explains the various austerities that are observed by the people as per their three modes. Now when we talk about austerity means tapasya, right? When we talk about austerity, there are three kinds of austerity. Austerity of the body, austerity of speech, and austerity of mind. Okay? So let us see one by one. Shloka 14 speaks about austerity of body. What is austerity of body? Austerity of body means taking some difficulties in the body level to satisfy the Lord. And it could be worshipping the Lord, worshipping the Brahmanas, worshipping the Guru, or worshipping superiors like our father and mother, taking some difficulties, austerities for them. This is what is about austerity of the body, taking that austerity in body level. For example, somebody follows Ekadashi, right? It means fasting, we don't take grains. So it is an austerity. It is an austerity to the body. We are controlling ourselves by taking, without taking grains. And not only that, it is said that austerity of the body, it also involves cleanliness. Austerity of the body means not only that we follow all these things, even our external body, we keep it clean. We take bath daily. We don't, it is said that the moment, especially these priests and all, what they do, the moment they use washrooms, immediately they go and take bath before they come to the altar of the Lord. So like this, there are so many things. When you go to a death house, right, you come, or when you visit an hospital to see a newborn or something like that, you come home and then you take bath to purify your external physical body. Okay, so this is about the austerity of the body. Next is austerity of speech. Austerity of speech is very, very important. We should know what to speak and what not to speak. Right? Sometimes we may not physically hurt someone, but through our words we might hurt. And it is said that austerity of speech consists of three things. If only these three conditions are met, you should speak to, only then you can speak to someone. It is said that whenever we speak to someone, we should make sure that these three conditions are met. Which is, first one, whatever we intend to speak should be truth. It should be truthful. You should not simply speak something that is false or something that is not true in nature. Whatever you speak, you should always make sure it is, my words are completely true and it is authoritative. Second one is, whatever we speak should be pleasing to the listener. This is very, very important. Some people will just simply go on speaking. He will not even bother whether the opposite person likes or not. Simply go on speaking. We might think we are giving some good advices. It is actually said that even the advice should not be given without being asked. Only when that person asks you for an advice, then you should give. Otherwise, even though your advice is good, it will go unheard. It will only disturb the listener. If somebody is coming and asks you for an advice, then give it. Right? Again, all these things does not all the time hold good. For example, our own children. It does not mean that only when the children comes and asks us, you give advice. No. As parents, we are duty bound to give them advices, right? So this is more of using our intelligence in the right way. Okay, first one, speaking the truth. Second one, our speech should be pleasing to the listener. Third one is the speech should be beneficial for them. This is more important. Is my speech going to benefit that person in any way? That is also very important. So only when these three conditions are met, in these three, if any one is not met also, it is better we keep ourselves quiet. That way we can hold back our respect. Otherwise it is very easy that we lose our respect. People will tell that is none of your business. Right? That is why we will have to be very careful. But sometimes, even though the truth may not be pleasing to the listener, still we have to say it. This is called apriya satyam. Sometimes he might not like what we are saying, but still, if those words are beneficial, it is going to benefit that person, then we can definitely, in those kind of scenarios, even though it is not pleasing to the listener, we can use it. But it is according to time, place and circumstances. We should always not do that way. And most important is, before you speak, listen. That is very important. And the greatest example is this Bhagavadgita. See, Krishna did not speak in chapter 1 at all. He is simply listening to Arjuna. He starts speaking only from chapter 2. See, this is the greatest thing a teacher can teach us. He did not straight away start with instructions. Okay, Arjuna, come on, do all these things, take notes, right, this is what I am saying, follow that, follow this. No, first he patiently listens. He is listening to Arjuna's doubts, he is listening to Arjuna's problems, and only then he is starting to give solutions. So sometimes it is good for us to listen. We always need not be in an advising mode. And the best way of advice is, do your things correctly. You be a good teacher through your actions. When we do our things very correctly, then automatically people will come for your advice. They will see you, because you are setting a very good example, they will automatically come and ask you advice. Then you can give. Some of us are always in the mode of just jumping and speaking and giving some advice even when it is not asked for. Then it will not hold. You might be giving some gem of instructions. It could be one of the best instructions. But if nobody is asking for that, then there is no use of it. Right? So this is the austerity of speech. Next is austerity of mind. So austerity of mind is given in verse 16. Austerity of mind means satisfied with whatever we have. Most of the times we are not satisfied with what we have. No, we want either when somebody gives you A, you want B. When somebody gives you B, you want C. When somebody gives C, you want something else. When somebody gives you A to Z everything, then you want again A plus. So we are never satisfied. So Shastra says dissatisfaction mainly comes from three things. If a person is not satisfied, it is generally because of these three things. First thing is money. Nobody is satisfied with money. Nobody is satisfied with their salary. Oh, it could have been better if I had got little more salary. Yes, my package is so much, I got a promotion, but my colleague is getting more. It could have been nice. If maybe a little more is coming, then it will solve my problems. Maybe my car loans, house loans, it will be solved. And when you get that money, then you will think like, okay, now this is all solved, but it will be nice if I get little more. So not being happy with money, or in other words, not being happy with wealth. It can be something you own, anything, right? And second thing is not being happy with food. This is very, very important. If there are 10 people, you cannot serve or satisfy all these 10 people. Each one's taste is different. And some people are there, they will, whatever you give them, they will have find some reason to find out. That is not good, this is not good. You give them 9 items, they will tell that the 10th item was missing. One pickle could have been there, or one papad could have been there. No? Or maybe some sweet could have been there. Everything is nice. Some people will say, your food and all was very nice, but that plate, the plate was little small. Could have been a bigger plate. Or no, you could have given water in that Bisleri bottle. This is very difficult. We'll have to go and fetch the water and come. If we had given bottle, we could have taken with us. So people just find out reasons to give some reasons. Food is actually a mercy of the Lord. Today in the world there are so many people who are going to bed without eating their meal. Some people only get one meal per day. There are a lot of children who are hungry. They go. It is so painful to see these things. And among these things, we'll have to be very thankful to the Lord that, okay, I am able to make it to 3 meals in a day. Right? So our mindset is that I may not get a lot of variety of dishes, but at least Lord is not keeping me starved. So we'll have to be thankful for the food. That is why Govinda is in charge of the food. That is why we always pray Mahaprasade Govinde. We should always thank Govinda for the foodstuff that he is giving. Okay? So anyways, one thing, austerity of mind is, one is to be dissatisfied with money, second one is dissatisfied with food, third one is to be dissatisfied with our relationship means specifically with our partner or spouse. Most of the times people think that, oh, it could have been nice if I could have got another partner who has so and so qualities. It would have been very nice that my partner had so and so qualities, maybe physically or mentally, whatever. One thing we have to understand is, all these things are fixed. Whatever is our karma, whatever is our previous deeds, everything is fixed. Whoever you are supposed to get, only then we will get it. Only we will get it. So we should try to be happy with whatever we have. Right? If we try to find out problems, right? And this is why most of the time there is problems in relationships, because both of them are not satisfied with each other. When people try to be satisfied with what they have, now it is always said that materially we should always look people below us. Then we can try to be satisfied. There could be a lot of people suffering than us. There could be a lot of people who are going through a lot more problems than us. Always look at them. Don't look at people who are above you. When you look at people who are above you, who are more richer than you, who are more happier than you, or who's having a beautiful partner than you, then what happens is there is always problem. You always look below, then you will try to be satisfied. Right? These are the things. And next again it is said that austerity of mind also consists of being simple, simplicity. Simplicity means again not being duplicity. One should be, we are something inside and showing it something else outside. Some people are very nice outside. Outwardly they behave nice to you. They say that, oh, very nice, but inwardly they feel a lot of envy, jealousiness. Now this is not very good. Hypocrisy, duplicity, feeling something inside and then doing else something outside. So that is not, so controlling that is also part of austerity of mind. And then austerity of mind also comes through self-control. Now self-control is the only way where you can bring austerity of mind, right? And self-control is only possible in good associations, right? Because only in good association, because self-control, when self-control comes when we have good thoughts. And good thoughts comes only when we are around good people. And if good thoughts has to come, first of all we should know what good thoughts are. Most of us don't even know what good thoughts, what bad thoughts are. So if we have to know what good thoughts are, we'll have to associate with good people and come to satsang where good things are being discussed. For example, congregations like this, where we discuss spirituality, where we discuss shastras, we discuss about the Supreme Lord, where we try to understand the good and bad of life. Right? These are all the things where we try to understand and distinguish between what is good and what is bad. And only when we come to Vaishnava satsangs like this, only then we understand what good thoughts are. And only when we understand what good thoughts are, we would be able to practice it, and that way we get self-control. And only then we will get austerity of mind. Okay? So having discussed about this austerity, and the best way to purify our mind is again chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Now we discussed 3 types of austerity. Now we will discuss the different types of austerity for the people in different modes of nature. Okay, Shloka 17. This threefold austerity performed with transcendental faith by men not expecting any material benefits but engaged only for the sake of Supreme is called austerity in goodness. Yeah, so austerity in Sattva Guna or tapasya in goodness. He said that those who perform austerity in goodness, they always do it with the aim of satisfying the Lord. Their only motive is to satisfy the Lord. They don't expect anything else. For example, like Ekadashis, we already discussed. Practicing Ekadashi. We do Ekadashi just to please the Lord. Right? So these are all the austerities. They do it with complete faith. They worship the Lord with complete faith. They know that I have to do this for pleasing the Lord. They have a complete faith that the Lord is present. So this is what is called as austerity in goodness. And they are not expecting any material benefits. Oh, if I go to the temple and break some 100 coconuts, I will pray to the Lord that you give me something. No, it is not being done in that mood. They just want to satisfy the Lord, just please the Lord. That is enough for me. This is in goodness. Next one, austerity in passion. Penance performed out of pride and for sake of gaining respect, honor and worship is said to be in the mode of passion. It is neither stable nor permanent. For example, following Ekadashis and saying that, oh, I followed Ekadashi. I am great. And it is said that it is neither stable or nor permanent also. People who are in this mindset, they won't be able to follow it for a long time. Some people we can see they will follow Ekadashi for some time, someday they might not follow. And you can see some people, they will be fasting. It is an austerity, but they are not fasting for the Lord. They are fasting for some political reason. Oh, I will not eat, I will go on this fasting for 2 days without food or water. I will fast for 1 week without food. We see, right, politically these news comes. People are fasting just because Karnataka is not giving Kaveri water for Tamil Nadu. Right, these are all the kind of reasons. They do try to do some tapasya, but it is not to satisfy the Lord. And they just want to make some name for them. When people, it will come in the news, oh, this so and so person is fasted for 1 week just because Karnataka did not send water to Tamil Nadu. This is such a great person. People have to learn from them. Overnight he becomes a famous person. So it is for these kind of reasons. And next, austerity performed in the mode of ignorance. Penance performed out of foolishness with self-torture or to destroy or injure others is said to be in the mode of ignorance. Now these are people who does austerity foolishly, which means they don't even know what is right and what is wrong. Self-torture, we can see some people in the name of spirituality, they pierce their body and they pull their cart, something outwardly it might look like devotion. But the point is, Shastras are not even saying, where are the scriptures recommending these things? This is unwanted pain you are taking for the body. Lord says in Bhagavadgita, feel happy, take nicely, devotion is very, very simple. All you have to do is just chant the Hare Krishna mantra, eat some prasadam, come to satsang. That's all. These are simple things which you have to do. Why you want to pierce your body and do all these difficult kind of things? And it is also said that with self-torture or destroy or to injure others, sometimes we, in the name of spirituality, we kill a lot of animals. There are certain places where they do Narabali also. They kill human beings also. Nobody is saying this. Nobody is asking you for this. We are killing poor animals in the name of God. So this is all wrong. This is what is said to be in the mode of foolishness or mode of ignorance. Okay. So this is about austerity. Next is charity. Even charity we can divide it into 3 as per goodness, passion and ignorance. Charity in goodness, let's see what it is. Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place and to a worthy person is considered to be in the mode of goodness. Yeah, so what it is said, charity given out of duty. It is completely given out of love and out of duty. Nobody is expecting anything out of it. And it says proper time and place also. We have to make sure that we give charity on proper time. Some people know that something is left over in the house, then they will take and go and give. Oh, this is the charity, and they feel that is very great. Some torn clothes or something is left over in the thing, something which we don't want. Or sometimes leftover food we go and give it to the security guards. So this is not charity. Charity should be done out of duty, out of love. Time, places are there. We should, for example, giving charity on Dwadashi day, the next day after Ekadashi, it is said to be very, very nice. And place, it is said that whenever you visit some holy places, when you give a charity in the holy places, the results are multiplied. It is said. And also to worthy people, this is very important. You have to give charity to some worthy people, not to anyone and everyone. When you start giving charity to every beggar in the street, then we might not know who is good and who is bad. Some people will collect your money, night they will go into the bar and they will drink. And whatever sin they are doing, because you have sponsored for that money, you should take that sin. So we have to be little bit intelligent, right? Who really wants, who is really in need. That is why it is said right time, place and people also. So that is what is the right kind of charity. It is said that charity should be done for devotees, brahmanas. So these kind of people, Vastradana, Annadana, these are said to be in the mode of goodness. We'll have to make sure that our charity is not being misused. That is more important. And also the mindset which we give. It is not that something which we don't want we are giving. That is the best gift you can. You have to gift a person what you like, not that what you don't like. Only then a person, most of the time, no, we purchase something, maybe we purchase some 5 items, but we want only 3, we don't want the other 2, and we will select which are the best 3, we will keep it for ourselves, and which are the other 2 which is not least preferred, then we will go to our friends or something, hey, I bought this for you, you know what, when I was shopping I remembered about you, I bought this for you, did you like it? Take it. That person also will think, oh, very so sweet of my friend, he is giving so, taking care of nice. But the reality is, you have bought something extra, and because and sometimes gifts also, we receive, sometimes wedding function or something, birthday party, we receive a lot of food, gifts. Sometimes that gift we might already be having, maybe some kitchen items, some tray or something. Now we will try to find out which is the most least preferred, we will tell that when we are going to some other function, we will carry that. Take this as a gift. Right, so yeah, we'll have to be very genuine and show love when we just not giving gifts, exchanging gift, that is giving gift and taking gift. There should be an exchange of love in that. Right, so this is about, what did we discuss? I lost myself. Yeah, this is about charity in goodness. Next one is charity in passion. Charity performed with expectation of some return or with a desire for fruitive results, or in a grudging mode, is said to be charity in the mode of passion. Yeah, this is, they expect something. Some people, they give bags and bags of rice. You do that, this one, they conduct big annadanam. But on one condition, there should be a big auto announcement which should be going, that so and so person has sponsored. There should be a big banner which should be printed, and my name should be there, very big, sponsored by so and so person. There should be a photo, a statue which should be stuck out, and in the mic you should announce my name, I have done so and so sponsorship. So their act is good, they are coming forward and doing charity, but they are expecting all these things. If they are doing it for some name and fame, it should not be like that. Especially good example is, you can see during this election time, they give a lot of money, as though they are very much concerned. They will go to house, they will give money for everyone. Why is the money being given? Expecting vote. So they are expecting something. They did not do it for the last 5 years. They just want to do it in the last month. Only this, when are the roads good in Bangalore or in any part of India? 1 month before election. Right? So all these, so they are expecting something. So this is about the charity in passion. Next one is charity in ignorance. Charity performed at an impure place at an improper time to unworthy persons, or without proper attention and respect, is said to be in the mode of ignorance. We already discussed this. We will have to not give charity to unworthy people. Some people, we can see a lot of people are they are funding for terrorism. Right? So terrorists, all these people, they get a lot of money because there are organizations who are funding for them. These are all the charity that is done in the mode of ignorance. So it is not to unworthy people, right? Yeah. So we will go into the last section from Shloka 23 to 28. This section speaks about importance of Om Tat Sat, or in other words, importance of mantra meditation. Verse 23. Om Tat Sat iti nirdesho brahmanas trividah smritah brahmanas tera vedyas vedas chayagnas chavihita pura. Translation. From the beginning of creation, the 3 words Om Tat Sat were used to indicate the supreme absolute truth. These 3 symbolic representations were used by Brahmanas while chanting the hymns of the Vedas and during sacrifices for the satisfaction of the Supreme. Now here, Lord is describing why this Om Tat Sat is being used. Now we discussed in our previous section about sacrifice, austerities, charity, foodstuffs. So the problem is, even though these things are done in the mode of goodness, still it has some doshas, it has some problems. Like we already discussed, right? Sometimes milk, it is in the mode of goodness, but it still carries some contaminations, right? And vegetables, foodstuffs, they carry some kind of chemicals. Sometimes the mantras, even the mantras, sometimes if we not chant it correctly. See, the Vedic mantras needs to be chanted perfectly in order to get the benefit. If a mantra is little bit slipped, the entire meaning changes and we lose on the benefit. That is why even though while performing all these activities in the mode of goodness, still there is a problem. That is why Lord says when Om Tat Sat is chanted, or in other words, when the Lord's names are chanted during these sacrifices or these activities, automatically it is all purified. Right? It may be, that is why even while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, we chant the Panchatattva mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nithyananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. It is said that sometimes when the reason we chant this mantra is if there are any offenses that knowingly or unknowingly we do it to the Hare Krishna mantra, this mantra will take care of those offenses. So Om, the word Om is actually the potency of the Lord. Right? In other words, it is said that the Hare Krishna mantra is so powerful that it automatically carries the potency of Om. Finally, what Krishna is trying to say is, you can be doing any kinds of activities, charity, sacrifices, whatever you can do a lot of good things. But ultimately, if you don't include Lord with these things, then it is of no use. Prabhupada says, that is why in a check, you can add whatever number of zeros, you can keep on adding. But when will that check have a value? When you add a 1 on the left side of the 0. Otherwise, whatever number of 0 is still 0 only. Similarly, all these sacrifices, worships, performances, whatever in the name of rituals and religious activities we can keep on doing, it is all like 0 only. When will it have a meaning is when this 1, when we include Krishna, when we include the Lord in our life, only then it will have and that is what Krishna says in the final shloka. This is our conclusion. Ashraddhaya hutam datta tapastaptam kritam cha yad asad ityuchyate partana cha tat pretya no hiha. Anything done as sacrifice, charity or penance without faith in the Supreme, O son of Partha, is impermanent. It is called asat and is useless both in this life and the next. See, very straightforward and clearly Krishna is saying. First he explained all the divisions of faith. He explained the divisions of worship. He explained about austerities, foodstuffs, penances, sacrifices, charity, everything in the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance. Finally he is saying, you can do all these things, but if you really want to attain some meaning, if you really want some benefit out of it, then you have to do it with the faith in the Supreme Lord. Only when you do it that way you will attain. Otherwise it is like taking a medicine, right? When you take a capsule and if that capsule does not have any medicine inside that, will that medicine give you any result? I am eating a lot of capsules, but inside that medicine is not there. No use at all. Similarly, all these activities without proper devotion are useless. Ultimately, we have to come to a point where whatever activity we do in our life, it has to be some or the other way connected to the Lord. Right? For example, you go to an orphanage to feed the poor children or to feed the senior citizens. Take Krishna Prasadam. Don't take some biryani or don't take some unoffered food. No, prepare prasadam, offer it to the Lord. That prasadam you give it to orphanage. So charity is also done. So you are also feeding them Krishna Prasadam. So that way it becomes a good activity, spiritualized activity. Like that, each and every activity in our life, we have to make it spiritualized. Not only, see, people who are in mode of ignorance and passion, their aim is to come to the mode of goodness. But mode of goodness is not all in all. From mode of goodness is a platform for us. Once we reach that platform, from that threshold we'll have to try to come to the mode of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva. So that is spiritualizing everything. Mode of goodness does not necessarily mean that you are spiritualizing everything. It is good, but it is not spiritualized. So you will have to spiritualize one step further. So for that you should practice it. No, you should have that faith in the Lord. You should include Lord in everything. And by doing so, then all our activity becomes automatically spiritualized. So this is the essence of chapter 17, named Divisions of Faith. So next we will go into the final chapter, 18th chapter, which is our conclusion and a very important chapter where we will get to know the essence of Bhagavadgita. Hare Krishna. Any questions? We ran a little bit late.